need to do that in congregations. It's small group work, but it's also congregational work. My congregation in Medina used to get tired of me saying, we need to focus on being a spiritual caring son. And they said, we did that already again. We did that already. Why do we have to keep talking about this? And I said to them, you can never do enough of this. Loving one another, caring for one another, learning to listen to one another, learning to process with one another. You can never do enough of this because whatever is happening in the world around you is going to come into the world in here. And we need to be able to know how to communicate with one another, speak the truth of love with one another, be with one another and honor one another in our covenants with each other ongoing. We need to do healthy congregations. Who's in here who knows about that? We need to do the things that help us process conflict in ways that are positive and creative. You all know that conflict, this was the biggest learning for me in the last 10 years. Conflict is a good thing. Hate that. The scriptural reference from Matthew about when 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, I will be there. Jesus says that to us. It comes at the end of a passage about conflict. In other words, Jesus shows up when we're in conflict. And I've been saying that passage you have too, wherever 2 or 3 of us are gathered together, thinking how great this is. Oh, shoot. There's something that's happening there in conflict. There's something that's calling us there in conflict. There's something that's an opportunity there in conflict that might be God trying to move us just a little bit farther forward on this journey, which we're called to journey on. Authentic relationships. We have to be about authentic relationships. We have to be about being the welcoming table. We have to be about the whole people of God. We have to learn about each other, and we need to ask ourselves, how is it with you and your brothers and sisters? We have to ask that question. Jesus asked that question, didn't he? How is it with you and your brothers and sisters? Before you come to the welcoming table, how is it with you and your brothers and sisters in faith? And one of the deep places that deep spirituality calls us to is that we're in a room tonight. I need to bring you back a step. We're in the room tonight. You are a really awesome group of people, and I like the looks of you. And I think we could be friends. I think, Terry, we could. But the reason that you and I are in the room together tonight is because Jesus called us. Somewhere along the line, Dorothy Salee, I'll bet you remember, you made a confession of faith in Jesus Christ. When was that?
I was 9 years old, so it would have to be 1940.
1940. Dick, when did you make a confession of faith in Jesus Christ?
December 13th, 1959, right here in this church on the day it was dedicated.
Wow. Good job, Dan. I made mine when I was 12 years old, and my other brother made his at that same time, and I was baptized. I'm here because I believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of the living God, and I know that's why you're here too. Underneath everything else is that. One of the things I've been telling folks lately is that needs to come up a little higher in our awareness. That's why we're here. Even if I may mean something a little different than you mean by that. Even if we have our own ways into what that means in our lives and have changed in our meaning of that. That's what brings us together in this room. And we don't get to dismiss each other because of that. So how is it with your brothers and sisters in Jesus. Okay. One of the other things that I think we need to do. Oh, I have another story. Are you okay? I gotta tell you another story. I had these amazing experiences in my last congregation, and I'm very grateful that Crystal came and got to see where I was, and something happened there. It was a God thing. We moved from an old sanctuary that was 1877, that congregation was established in Medina, Ohio. We moved from an old sanctuary and built a new sanctuary on 18 acres in the south end of town. And as we were doing the construction process, we were not able to get it finished in time for us to move into it. And so the last Sunday in 2002 of December, we left our old facility carrying an ark. We made our own Ark of the Covenant, and we put our sacred items in that. They gave me the light and they said, we want you to lead us out, we want you to carry us on our way. And I stood in the middle of the sanctuary after that service going, oh God, what if they don't follow me? It was too late. Anyway, just go. But what happened was we had to find a place to go. And my colleague again, Ted, and I worked out a deal that I would bring my congregation to his congregation and I would cover his sabbatical. It means I just doubled my workload and transferred a whole group of people into his sanctuary. But that's what we did. And so on that day, at the back of the church, when the doors opened for us to walk out, they were waiting for us. And not only that, we walked out of our building and walked a block to their building. And on the way, you know, I'm teary. There's a kid next to me with a little altar thing. And I'm going, oh, I sure hope they're following. I'm not going to turn around. I don't want to have a Lot's wife experience here. You know? I don't want to know if they're following. And all of a sudden, I hear the church bells ringing. And I go, they're ringing the bells for us. I'm telling you, folks, I have never felt more welcomed in my life. They were ringing their church bells for us. I'm thinking, everybody I know that has passed the picture of me, because there's a picture in my office now of that time and that experience, everybody's passed that picture, looks at it and looks at me, looking up, and stops and asks me, what's going on there? And I tell them, they were ringing their church bells for us. We need to be that kind of welcoming community. We need to ring the bells for each other. We need to say, hooray, they're coming in. They're coming over. We need to be that kind of welcoming community for one another. I had this wonderful experience this past week at the Committee on Ministry, where we had all these marvelous, wonderful, beautiful candidates for ministry, and among them were Korean pastors, a bunch of them, and Hispanic pastors, one. But we need to ring the bell for each other. Creating these communities of grace and creating these supportive relationships for one another. With that discipleship and with that supportive relationship, we can begin to take a few risks for the sake of the gospel of Jesus Christ. We can begin to reach out beyond ourselves and do evangelism, and we can begin to try new things. I'm a believer in that dissertation that I did on communities of grace. The transformation happens when you get your community of grace going. When you begin to exhibit and live into what